So I have none to report.
Yeah, I had the CVRD meeting last week, which we discussed a lot of what we talked about already. Met with economic development a couple of times, and I got a tour of the new building by the golf course with Don Cameron the other day. So that was good, and he's said that later he'll probably invite all of council to come and have a look as they get a little farther along. It's very nice. The views out the back are almost as good as the ones out the front. So it's a nice building. Yeah.
Great, thank you. And yeah, I forgot to have this on when I started. So yeah, so Councillor McGowan, anything to report?
This is going to take some getting used to. Did we report last meeting?
Yeah.
We
No.
skipped it? All right. Well, there's one thing that I would put in from last time, which is we had a BCMCLC meeting with George Heyman, Minister Heyman as well, and regarding climate change and job creation. And the major themes that came out of that were a lack of capacity. Most municipalities were talking about how they lack capacity, and I know we can really identify with that. And the province wants help by IDing certain important projects. So if there's projects that we want done, to have them kind of shovel ready and tell them about it. The museum has reopened. I went to the Stair board meeting, and they are working on their protocols for reopening. And I want to give them an extra thanks for allowing the sharing of space when we use their room for our council meetings as well. There was a call with Dr. Enns and Food Policy Council as well. Oh, and I started the FCM training for the climate action thing.
Great, thank you. Councillor Swift.
Thank you. I think the RD meetings have been covered. We went to one on the 11th as well as the 25th. But of some interest, there was a presentation from the Comox Valley Community Foundation, and for the first time, they are going to consider covering some operating costs for charities, because they're recognizing that charities are having difficulties with their normal fundraising events and so on. So if you are involved with a charity, you might consider having a look at the criteria at least, and putting in an application. I think they're going to be focused more on food security and so on, but you never know. And other than that, Director Will Cole-Hamilton is putting his name forward to the UBCM for a member at large position. So we'll see if he gets that, and his emphasis is climate, of course. And I did attend the Philburg board meeting. We've been meeting out on the lawn with our socially distanced chairs, and of course they're hanging in there. They're very dependent on their gift shop, and the gift shop's doing quite well. It's open every weekend, and they've also got some little bouquets for sale. With no weddings or other events going on in the park, it's being well utilized for Zumba and yoga and outdoor education classes. So, and then as you heard today, the Legacy Tree program they're trying to get going. So there we are, and that's my report.
Great, thank you. And Councillor Bissinger.
Sure, thanks. Just attended a site visit with a resident looking for a subdivision rezoning, and then also for the Comox Strathcona Waste Management Board meeting. We haven't had meetings yet. We're going to have one next week, but the topic was the organics facility. So we've got an update on that. So they're going to change their procurement method. Instead of doing a bid, build, operate, they're going to do bid, design, bid, build contract. So hoping that'll attract more bidders, and they're looking at a September 2022 operation to begin processing all the composting, all the organics for Comox Valley and Strathcona Regional District areas. So that's kind of like the update for that, and I'm guessing we'll know more next week once we go to that meeting.
Did they make any mention on continuance of the pilot program for pickup?
As far as I know, the pilot program is still ongoing until then.
Okay, thank you. And Councillor McKenna?
Well, probably the highlight of my month was a meeting arranged with a 1,400-pound moose on a trail on the Cabot Trail in Cape Breton. So that was pretty cool. But in all seriousness, not a whole lot. I was on vacation, obviously, for the month, but I did attend the Comox Valley Coalition and Homelessness meeting today. And there were several opportunities upcoming out of that meeting. One is an opportunity with you, Mr. Mayor. They're hosting a Breaking Bread opportunity, I think is what they called it. It's upcoming, so I'm not sure if it's been announced or invited yet, but that'll be upcoming to yourself. And also, they did talk about our senior housing complex that's been, approved, and they submitted their application. One of the, also Sam Franey, who Councillor McGowan knows, Sam has established his Comox Valley Unhoused Society as an actual society, so he's making movement there. And he's a person who has lived experience with homelessness. But one of the shocking things actually that came up in that meeting is the amount of people dying every day from overdose. And 5 people a day are dying, and it's more than COVID, heart attacks, cancer, all put together in the province of British Columbia. It's quite shocking and it's quite sad. And I don't know how we can put a lens on that from a council perspective, but it's something that really is important, and we need to figure that part out. And that's my report. Thanks.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, and regarding that Breaking Bread, I did get the invite. Unfortunately, that is a Wednesday right at our council time. So I've asked them to see if there's some wiggle room there. I don't have really anything to add, so just to keep things moving forward, I'll leave it at that. And we don't have any media. We don't have any public here. Do we have any written public questions? A statement? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then we'll just leave it at that. So seeing none of that, we'll move to exclude the public as we go into a public hearing, that the public be excluded from the in-camera session of council on today, Wednesday, September 2nd, pursuant to the following subsection of Section 90 of the Community Charter. So all in favor? Okay, carried. So we'll end the meeting and stand by. We'll go into in-camera. You have the PowerPoint in the sharing drive, right?